You can meditate all you want, but 30 minutes on river bottom creates a transcendence that's unlike anything else. It seems like there's a vast intelligence there that is beyond us. There's even a sense almost of an unnameable music. Both my paternal grandparents had places in the country. My dad did. My grandparents and dad all had professional lives, but they also retained somewhat from the Great Depression, rural lifestyles. We had horses and cows, and I had to milk cows when I was growing up, gardening and all those things. So I had a lot of time to cavort around in the wild. We thought of the country and the wild environment, and I guess you could say the plants, we just thought of that as a place where the animals went. And so if you wanted to go hunting, you had to go to the country and to the wild part of the country to see game. We didn't think of the plants much more than you would as a place to go hunt animals. And that's the mindset I grew up in. When I was in college at UT, I took a class in anthropology, and during the course, another friend and I ended up doing an experimental archaeology project on my grandmother's property on the Guadalupe River. In a 10-day period, all we collected was a possum and an armadillo. And so we had lots of time to sit around and go, wow, how did these people do? How did they make do? The idea of everything the plant kingdom contributes to humans never became more clear than it did on that trip. So what if this is the way it was? We really didn't have a place to go back to. What if for some reason everything went wrong and we didn't have civilization again? How would we start over? And nobody wants the answer, but the answer is everything comes from the plant kingdom. We couldn't recreate society, recreate culture without all the diversity of the plant kingdom. Botanists have come up with a term, plant blindness, and it applies to people who don't live in a subsistence lifestyle in a first world country because we're cut off from plants. If you come from a subsistence background where everything you have comes from the plants that are around you, all of your medicines, your foods, your commodities, your fibers, everything you make, your clothes, you don't lose the awareness and the significance of how the plant kingdom supports everything you do. But as soon as you're into a first world situation, you don't know anything about that and don't need to.
Okay, DALL.
The mission of Use for Wild Plants is to explore all those untapped uses, to advance research through science and all those uses, and advocate conservation of all those plants so we'll have them available to our great-grandchildren. So we threw this net that we wanted to study all of the uses of every species, species-based, from prehistoric to present in the most recent study in phytochemistry and all the medical science. As far as I know, no other organization on the planet is doing this comprehensive study species by species. We feel like that's the only way to sort of set up the next level of research. It's taken us a long time to get the photography for it and to accumulate the vast amount of research to put these volumes out. Completing that research, and it's going to take some significant funding. We need to be able to hire 15 writers to get it done in our lifetime. Ultimately, it's a means to an end. The information base is the first phase of the project, and then we thought of how the project interfaces with the rest of society. Education, K through 12, and college. In terms of land, selling conservation by pointing out the value of plants on people's property that they should save and not bulldoze, and deep research, then product development, marketing those products. Our research is the gateway. We have now many advanced forms of exploration of plants, studying their chemistry, the medical effects, pharmacognosy, and molecular biology, which we're in a position now that we've never been in before. We're on the brink of a huge change in plant science, and that is we're in a position now to accelerate crop development. We can single out properties of a plant that we think are important. It's going to help human beings. We can create a way to generate a lot of that compound. There's some multi-million-dollar investments that can pay off. Going forward, it's going to be the major source of money, as I call it, the last economy on planet Earth. People have a great fascination with going to Mars. The truth of the matter is we have a whole new planet under our feet that we haven't even looked at yet. And the truth is the smallest vascular plant may end up being more valuable than anything we ever find on Mars. I think an awful lot of conservationists want us to pity nature, but that's not the problem. We need to pity ourselves because we're the ones that are going to lose in the long run. They say you can't see the forest for the trees. Well, our problem is we can't see the trees for the forest. People look out at the wild environment and are unconcerned about plant species. And I think if people can wake up to the importance of plants, the world is going to be a lot better place, and we'll all be able to stay here. And if we don't, we're not going to be able to stay here. I mean, it's that simple.